Hello everybody, Michael here. We are back for another deck tech video. This is actually the deck that I made specifically for an exclusive series that appeared on Rogue Deck Builder, the channel, and it's Kevin's channel, who is sponsored by GatheringMagic.com, and I'm really grateful to him for actually letting me be a guest on his channel for a series. And this deck is the one I showed on that channel, and I'm doing this deck tech video just to get it on my channel, as well as I want to start recording some games with it, and I've actually revised it even further than what the wrap-up video shows. So this is another reason why I wanted to show this. So hopefully some people who have watched those videos have come here and we'll see this video and see how it's evolved. Ha, get it? Evolved. I actually didn't mean to do that one, surprisingly. But yeah, so this is the new improved version. It's a lot more consistent now, just because I added in quite a few more creatures and I took out some of the unnecessary things, thanks to some suggestions on the comments that I got from Kevin's videos on this. It was very helpful, and I definitely am working towards making this deck as best as it can be. And it's getting better and better each time I revisit it, each time I refine it. It gets better and better, which is awesome, which is definitely what I want to see, and which is definitely why I encourage suggestions and comments on my videos. I really enjoy reading them, and I really enjoy learning more about the game, because I am still new to this, and I definitely want to get as best as I can be in the quickest time possible. So most of the suggestions were made from NR4747 on YouTube, and really thankful to him for sort of creating a whole new deck list for it. It gave me some really nice ideas, and I took a lot of the creature stuff that he suggested. I didn't add in some things, but it definitely gave me some nice ideas, and it's definitely been proving quite well. Especially the splatter thugs have actually been performing quite well. And so let's get on with the deck tech. So originally, if you saw the wrap-up video, I had 4 Gyre Sages. I didn't have any Gorehouse Chainwalkers or Splatter Thugs. Those are all completely new. I had only 3 copies of Rakdos Cackler, so we added an extra Rakdos Cackler. And we also had 2 Bows of Nylea as well as our 3 drops. We had, I think, a couple of Burst of Strengths, which I moved to the sideboard. Had 4 Deadbridge Goliaths instead of 3. Had only 2 Burning Tree Emissaries instead of 4. So as you can see, we made it much more of a creature-oriented deck, which of course I think is what an aggro deck should be. I mean, I still consider Gore-Clan Rampager as a non-creature spell, because we do have Deadbridge Goliath now, and we do have more 3 drops to help curve out. So we can use Gore-Clan Rampager with how I meant for it, which was just pretty much the Blood Rush ability, being able to trample over guys and being able to hit, for 6 damage very early on is with Rakdos Cackler is awesome. So these are the creature spells that we added in. We added in 4 Splatter Thugs. I really like this. This is one of the suggestions that was made from NR4747 on YouTube, and it just goes really well with our theme. I needed more 3 drops. Bow of Nylea was too slow, so I just removed that anyways. And Splatter Thug just helps us curve out a little bit better, as well as it evolves Renegade Krasis. I can play it the following turn after playing Renegade Krasis, and it will get an evolve trigger off of him, as well as I can just make the stack work. So Splatter Thug evolves, and it essentially turns this into a 4/4, because I'll play Renegade Krasis, and then the turn after that I will play Splatter Thug Unleashed, which makes it a 3/3, which allows this to get evolved. And once this gets evolved, I can add another counter on all my other creatures that have counters on it, and since Splatter Thug already has a counter on it, it's essentially coming in now as a 4/4 with First Strike, which is quite strong indeed. And not to mention, whatever creatures I've played previously get another counter on it, so Rakdos Cackler will potentially be a 4/4, because it would have 3/3, sorry, and Gorehouse Chainwalker could be a 4/3. Gyre Sage would get another counter. It just works really well with our deck and curves out nicely. I also added in 1 more Rakdos Cackler. It's just a really solid 1-drop I'm finding, and I've won games purely off Rakdos Cacklers. So I decided to make 4 of, just to ensure I can sort of get 1 in my opening hand at least. I'm also running 3 Gorehouse Chainwalkers now. Gorehouse Chainwalkers, just getting some better 2-drops in there, as well again helps with the evolve, and it's just another way for Burning Tree to chain into. So we have a lot of 2-drops, which is very, very nice for 4 Burning Trees, which is also why I added 2 more. Just having the ability to chain into some more things, such as Gorehouse and Sylvan Caryatid, Gyro Sage. Just chaining into those really, really creates a nice board state for us, and we just want to create as many threats as we can on the board. And of course, you know, if we are playing something like Anger of the Gods, that card definitely hurts our deck, but it's just something we have to play around if we encounter a deck that has something like that. So it's very nice doing Burning Tree into Gorehouse, and I have done that before. It's very, very fun to do because it does get extra evolve triggers off of Gyro Sage and Experiment 1, which is always, always nice to see. But those are all the creature spells we added, and definitely very nice. So as you can see, we are playing 34 creatures now. The only non-creature spells we are running are 2 Gruul Charms and 2 Blood. Gruul Charms just very, very nice in this deck. Once we have a nice board state, we can always just swing in for full damage if they only have land creatures. And, you know, it does deal with Night Veil Spectre, stuff like that. Doesn't touch Desecration Demon, sadly, but that's where we will go to the sideboard for. And Blood, I actually really like Blood still. It's very, very nice being able to swing in with my guys and second main phase cast Blood. It essentially gives me another attack with one of my guys, which can prove to be very, very nice indeed, especially if I have Gorehouse, if I've Blood Rushed one of my guys and made them something like a 6/6. Excuse me. For just an extra 2 mana, I can cast Blood and use that power to hit them for another 6 damage, which is awesome. This is why I really like Blood in this deck. And if I need to, I can essentially fight creatures without actually having damage being done to my guys, so that's another option as well. But mainly we're going to be using it to burn straight to the face after the fact we've attacked. And of course, Gruul Charm to swing in through guys that don't have flying. So that's those are the changes, the big changes. The changes to the sideboard, I moved Burst of Strength to the sideboard. I felt like it's pretty situational. I really only need it when we are playing sort of against more aggressive matchups and they're swinging out. You know, we're pretty much just trading swings, and it allows us to swing out with our guys, but on the swing back we can Burst of Strength something like Burning Tree or Gyre Sage and essentially get another 1/1 counter on it, as well as being able to either trade with an important creature or just outright kill one of their guys on the swing back and reduce the amount of damage we're taking, as well as taking out some of their threats all at once, and building up our board state as well. Also added in another Lightning Strike just for more burn when we actually need to. I generally will probably replace something like Gorehouse Chainwalker, maybe. Not 100% sure what I'm going to be replacing yet, but I guess it really depends on the matchup. The main change to the sideboard is adding in the 2 plummets, and the 2 plummets are specifically there for Desecration Demon, just because I see so much mono black, and apologies for all the mono black games that might appear on my channel, but it is definitely the top deck that I encounter on MGGO right now in the tournament practice room. So sadly that is the case, but luckily we include plummet to sort of just have an instant answer to Desecration Demon, and it's something that we can get early, hopefully, to just sort of keep in our hand, because we do know that once they hit 4 mana, we'll generally play Desecration Demon right away, and we can just answer that with a nice 2 mana instant speed drop and hit him where it hurts. So that's the main reason why we're doing this, but everything else on the sideboard has been proving quite well. Even against mono black, I'll generally bring in the burn, especially Mizium Mortars, to help with those pack rats. And I've left the Ranger's Gals in. Those are just always nice for the spot protection when I do need them. I might experiment with other things. I'm not sure if just other things might work better than Ranger's Gal. I mean, I play so many creatures that if one of my guys dies from removal, I generally can just replace it right away and just out-threat their removal and burn out their removal faster than they can burn out my threats. So I'll have to experiment to see what else I have access to that might work a little bit better in the sideboard. Leaving 1 Skullkraken just for those opportune moments where I absolutely can't have him gain life. And that's all there is to it, as well as the 3 damage is always nice indeed as a finisher if need be. But that's the deck. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It's just such a fun deck to play, and it's each time I revisit it, each time I get suggestions, it just gets better and better for my place testing. I do know that I do need to get my hands on some shock lands. That's the main reason this deck really is hurting, is those Gruul guild gates. I will probably get shock lands and then maybe a couple of scry lands in here, just to help things. If I, just a little bit of scry will help this deck. I think it'll go a long way. Just because I added in the Splatter Thugs and the Gorehouse Chainwalkers, I probably will have to add in another mountain. I'll probably take out a forest, add in a mountain, or maybe even 2 forests and 2 mountains. I definitely have been flooded on forests before, so I definitely don't want that to happen. And we do have Gyro Sage Evolve triggers for the extra forest manas if we need to, as well as Sylvan Caryatids to sort of help alleviate that. But that's the deck. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I definitely hope you guys enjoy the games to follow. I will be definitely uploading a Mono Black game right after this, mainly because it shows off this new revised version of my deck, as well as it's just a really awesome game because it just shows how fast my deck can grow, and hopefully we can just make it even better. So as usual, leave comments and suggestions on the deck and let me know what you think of it. And if you want to make it yourself and playtest it, let me know how it played out for you and what other changes you'd make to it yourself. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.